and gentlemen, fellow veterans. It's a privilege to follow such an outstanding beating of retreat that we've just enjoyed. So my first thanks on your behalf are to Pipe Major Jim Stout and Drummy David Murray, not only for their performance today, but also for the pipes and drums, many hours spent in practice in the Piper's Cave and playing at other events on our behalf throughout the year, including fitting farewells to our former colleagues in some of the most inaccessible spots across the country. We should never take this standard of piping and playing for granted. It's like so much of what we did, so much of what we continue to do. Today's beating retreat was of the highest standard and the envy of every other association. How appropriate that the salute today also was taken by Major Dougie Shepherd, such a distinguished soldier in both the Seaforth Highlanders, the Queen's Own Highlanders, and a prominent contributor to the association at events like this and with amusing tales on rhyme. I'm not going to keep you long because I recall that when talking at the last gathering, by speaking now, I was up against the increasing numbers in the beer tent. The situation is even more challenging this year because we can all enjoy the generous contribution towards the first drink donated by Major Mike Crowe, who sadly joined the 2nd Battalion earlier this year. Mike, I know, would have demanded a brandy and ginger to get him going, which would have been a good test for our bar staff. Mike's donation is one of many for which we must be truly grateful, including an amazing gift from a local business and many donations from you in the association. Firstly, I want to thank you all, every one of you, for taking the time, the trouble, and going to the cost of coming to Inverness this weekend. I also want us to remember those who wanted to make the journey, but for some reason were unable to do so. But I hope who, in a day or two, will read all about it on social media. The attendance today, this weekend, highlights the strength of the Regimental family and the benefits of strong associations spread across the country. This whole weekend only happened because of a great deal of work done by the gathering committee, which seems to have been deliberating for ages now since the previous planned event in 2021 had to be cancelled because of COVID. I want to pay tribute to the volunteers who've worked tirelessly over the last few days making today happen. Special thanks too for the displays put on earlier by 7 Scots and the cadets who had set up stands for you. If you have not visited them, tough because they seem to have moved on, but I'm particularly grateful for the cadets who are going to return to help with the drumhead service tomorrow. Finally, I want to thank the efforts for the team at the Museum at Fort George, including Ernie Pope, who very kindly laid on the visit for many of you there this morning and generously offered all the visitors a tasty naffy break. The museum remains a very important part of our heritage, and I recommend a visit there if you haven't been there already. It's invidious to pick out individuals, but I would like to be grateful for the work done by Majors Maurice Gibson and John Bailey, who are doing the work to manage our museum, and also for the amazing work done by Bob Towns, Peter Finnison, and Jimmy Mush, who've done so much to organise our amazing medal collection. Today is the culmination of some marvellous efforts by the association, particularly those of you who've been office bearers and who have helped organise events, supported veterans who needed our help, and have helped take care of our increasing number of memorials, kindly arranged after much hard work by our previous chairman, James Murray. If you've not already done so, do find a moment when you're in Inverness to go and visit the memorial overlooking the River Ness. So thank you all association members and office bearers whose hard work and commitment has enabled us to achieve so much for both our members and our memories. We've had a truly marvellous and at times humbling turnout at funerals as we've said our farewells to former colleagues of our regimental family. The Glengarry and the Blue Hackle have been very much in evidence in churches, crematoria, and at the graveside. I believe it's very important to say goodbye properly to friends and colleagues. And finally, I want to say thank you to Alex Bang Bang Gunn for his excellent work in keeping the 2nd Battalion Facebook up to speed. Your chairman, Colonel Peter Watson, told me recently that today was an appropriate moment to hand in my mestings as your president. And so I'm happily passing the baton over to Brigadier Charles Grant. He was both a distinguished Freezone Highlander and latterly Colonel of 7 Scots. So thank you everyone for your help, support and advice over the past 20 years. But I'm pleased to say it's Charles who is keeping an eye on things tomorrow. At the Drumhead service, to which you're all encouraged to attend. However you may feel, some fresh air and a prayer or two will cure any headache. Before we head to the marquee, and some I realise have already got there, and enjoy Mike Crow's generous donation towards the drink, and much good crack, I'd like to make one final thank you. And it is to Brenda Ross, who, working in our HQ, has organised all of your applications, and these were mostly online. She sorted those that were filled out incorrectly, dealt with those forms that arrived late, and even fixed those without the money enclosed. And all this has been done with that ever-present smile, even while she's also had to endure her husband's Brown's enduring work as the vice chairman of our gathering committee. What better way for me to end than to say a big thank you to them both. A fitting farewell is a bunch of flowers from us all to Brenda in appreciation for all that she's done to make today happen and happen so smoothly. I'm going to ask Colonel James Murray, our previous chairman, now to make a presentation on your behalf to Brenda Ross. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow veterans, with that done, let us now continue to enjoy the party, with soon to come the Starlight Entertainment Disco. But in the meantime, let's make the most of the comradeship of friends, family and colleagues from over the year. So please join me with our traditional rallying call. Cava Fe Gubra! Cava Fe!